Hi everybody, Bill Knutson here, New York Sports with an Attitude. And finally, after what seemed like 1,000 years, I can put a smile on my face talking about the Mets. They finally got a win last night. They they scored early, tried to blow it, fell behind, but stuck with it and pulled the win out. We had some sad news. GM Sandy Alderson had a recurrence of his cancer, and he's taking an indefinite leave of absence, and from what I understand, he probably won't be back. Now, I know a lot of people, because of the way the Mets have been playing this year, have been calling for his job, and they want him out, but I'm assuming that nobody wanted him to be out by getting, sick with cancer. So, we'll send our best wishes and thoughts, prayers with him. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, I'm one of the ones that wanted to replace him as well, and get some new blood in there. But certainly this is not the way I wanted him to leave the job. So hopefully he'll be okay. And we have 3 guys taking his place, including Omar Minaya, who was a GM previously. Actually, one of the other 2 guys was a GM also. So now I'm not sure how it's going to go, because obviously with the debacle that is the Mets right now, we've got a lot of decisions to make in the next month, and we have 3 guys in charge with nobody, that's at the top of the list. No one decision maker. All 3 of them are making the decision, and there are a lot of decisions to make. So hopefully, with their 3 minds together, they can come up with exactly what we need in terms of who to trade, what to get back, who not to trade, whatever. But hopefully Sandy will be okay, and these 3 guys will be able to get the Mets heading in the right direction. Well, anyway, all right, we had Matz last night, and he had been pitching better the last bunch of starts until last week in Colorado, but Colorado seems to hurt everybody but DeGrom for the Mets, and, around the league, guys get hurt playing in Colorado, pitching in Colorado. The numbers are ugly usually. But, he was okay last night. We had the early 2-0 lead, and he gave that away. It was 2-2 in the 7th, and then, he was pitching pretty solidly, and he gave up a go-ahead home run in the 7th. I was like, oh no, not again. When are we going to win a game? But, Conforto came through with a tying home run in the 7th inning, which was a beautiful thing. And, unfortunately, Matz didn't get the win, but at least Conforto bailed him out so he wouldn't get the loss. The thing with Matz is, like I said, he's been pitching better of late, the last 5 or 6 games, Colorado the exception. But as I was listening and watching the game last night, they gave me an interesting stat about him that I already knew. I didn't know the exact numbers, but I had kind of thought these things in my mind. He doesn't get people to swing when it's not a strike. What that means is, the great pitchers, they get you to swing at their pitches. Not strikes, but pitchers' pitches. Matz really doesn't do that. He has the lowest percentage of any starter in baseball at getting guys to swing at pitches that are not strikes. Because obviously strikes are much easier to hit. So you're trying to get guys to swing at pitches that are not easy to hit. And Matz has a under 20% ratio in getting people to swing at strikes. What that means is less than 20% of the time they swing at balls. Where every other pitcher in baseball, that I'm sure you have to have a certain amount of innings to be in this, but every other pitcher in baseball that's eligible has a better percentage than that. So maybe that's been Matz's problems. He's not getting guys to swing at pitchers' pitches, and they're only swinging at hitters' pitches, and that's why, he might be having some of the trouble that he's been having during his career. So, because he's got good stuff, I still question his mental makeup. It seems that, when he gives up a couple of hits, then there's always a few more, and then it seems to snowball for the most part. But he's got the stuff. So if he can get the emotional makeup going and get guys to swing at more pitchers' pitches instead of hitters' pitches, we might have something for the next few years. We'll see. He might be a trade piece. I don't know. but he's got to get guys to swing at more pitchers rather than hitters pitches. All right, we made a move. We sent Guillorme down, and we brought this kid, Gerson Bautista, young relief pitcher, throws really hard, but he got roughed up the one or two times that I've seen him. But again, he's only pitched a couple of times in the major leagues, so I'm not going to crucify him. And Guillorme's no good. I mean, the other night he made 2 errors that helped cost us the game. He can't hit. I know he doesn't strike out. That's a good thing. But he's got no power. He doesn't hit for average. He's not a good defensive player. What do we need him for? Keep him down there. We don't need him. We have too many guys that don't hit well and don't play defense well enough. We need guys that can play defense and can get on base. That's what we need. So I'm fine with Guillorme being gone. The thing in the 8th inning, the play at second base with Josh Harrison of the Pirates, where all of a sudden a brawl almost started, the bench is cleared. That was a perfectly clean slide. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He ran hard. He slid into the base cleanly, didn't slide past it, didn't slide to the left or right of it, slid right into the base to break up the double play. That's exactly what he was supposed to do, and gave the Pirates, that would have ended the inning, but he gave the Pirates a chance to take the lead by sliding in hard, keeping his team alive. Luckily for us, the next guy got out. But I don't know what Familia was so upset about. Now, if it was a dirty slide, of course Familia and all the other Mets should have been upset. Perfectly clean. There was nothing wrong with the slide. I think Familia is just frustrated with his own performance, frustrated with the Mets' performance, during a 7-game losing streak and for the whole season. Even though Familia and the relief corps didn't give up any runs last night, and we were able to win the game. But I think Familia was just frustrated. He was totally wrong. There was nothing wrong with what Josh Harrison did. It was a perfectly hard, clean slide, just the way you're supposed to do it. So get over that, Familia. Anyway, I was happy with the bullpen. Familia, of course, put a couple of guys. He came in with somebody on base. Of course, he put another guy on base because he always does. But he did get through it and kept the game tied 3-3, which was good, until we could get to the 10th inning. And, the other night we lost at 11, so I wasn't super confident because this year we haven't had any clutch hitting. We're like the worst, and we're batting like .215 at home, the worst in 50 years, like I mentioned the other day. But we had a guy come up, and Wilmer Flores. He seems to be the king of the walk-offs, and he got the base hit to finally give us a win where it seemed like it had been 20 years since we won a game. But he got his 9th walk-off, which ties David Wright for the all-time Mets record. So, Wilmer, I'm always kind of iffy on Wilmer. He's a good guy, decent player, but I'm always kind of iffy. But, when it comes to the walk-offs, he's a big guy, so I was glad that he did that, and glad that we finally pulled out a game. All right, well, that's all I've got for today. We've got Wheeler going tonight against the Pirates. Hopefully the Mets can win and finally win a series, because I don't even remember the last time the Mets won a series. It's been that long. But if Wheeler can get it done tonight, we can win a series before we head on the road to Miami and Toronto. So, let's go Wheeler. Let's go Mets. Let's do that. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. I'm going to have more things coming up besides just baseball, especially if the Mets stay stinky the way they have been. So, subscribe when you can. Tell everybody else to do that. And in closing, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Let's go Mets tonight. Have a great day, have a great night, and I'll see you next time.